Have you ever felt like everything around you is collapsing? Like the weight of uncertainty, fear, and unanswered prayers is pressing down on you? What do you do when life feels unstable? Maybe you're facing financial struggles, wondering how you'll make it through. Maybe a relationship that once felt strong is now fragile, and you don't know how to fix it. Maybe you've been praying for healing, for a breakthrough, for peace, but all you hear is silence. Where's God in all of this? And how can you trust Him when everything seems uncertain? Today, we're diving into Psalm 62, a powerful passage that reveals what it means to find true security in God alone. Not in people, not in circumstances, not in your own strength, but in God alone. A soul at rest in God. David, the author of this psalm, had every reason to feel anxious. He was often on the run from his enemies, betrayed by those he trusted, and faced overwhelming pressure. Yet, in the middle of it all, he wrote, "Truly my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from Him. Truly He is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will never be shaken." Psalm 62, 1-2. Notice his confidence. I will never be shaken. But let's be real for a moment. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like your soul is at rest? Or do you feel anxious, restless, and weighed down by worries? What's keeping you up at night? What's stealing your peace? David wasn't resting because everything in his life was perfect. He was resting because his trust was in God. Where have you placed your trust? In your job? In other people? In your own plans and abilities? Or in the God who never fails? Speaking to your own soul. One of the most powerful things David does in this psalm is speak to his own soul. He says, "Yes, my soul, find rest in God. My hope comes from Him." Psalm 62, 5. Why does he say that? Because sometimes we have to remind ourselves of the truth. Our emotions will lie to us. Fear will whisper that we are alone. Doubt will say that God isn't coming through. But faith isn't about feelings, it's about standing on the truth of God's Word. What if, instead of letting fear control your thoughts, you started speaking God's truth over your life? When worry creeps in, my soul finds rest in God. When doubts rise, He is my rock and my salvation. When the future feels uncertain, He is my fortress. I will not be shaken. The invitation to trust. Psalm 62, 8 gives us a clear instruction. Trust in Him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to Him, for God is our refuge. Did you catch that? It doesn't say trust Him when things are going well. It doesn't say trust Him when you have all the answers. It says trust in Him at all times. Even when you don't understand. Even when the storm is raging. Even when everything in you wants to take control. What would it look like if you truly trusted God at all times? Would you still carry the same level of stress? Would you still try to control everything? Or would you finally let go and rest in the one who holds it all? God's power and love, the anchor for your soul. David ends this psalm with a powerful truth. One thing God has spoken, two things I have heard. Power belongs to you, God, and with you, Lord, is unfailing love. Psalm 62, 11, 12. God is both powerful and loving. That means He is strong enough to handle any situation in your life. And He cares deeply about every detail of what you're going through. But do you trust Him enough to surrender? What if the waiting is part of His perfect plan? What if the struggle is shaping you for something greater? What if the delay is actually His protection? Faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting the one who does. A moment of reflection. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing on the edge of a massive ocean. The waves are crashing, the wind is howling, and the storm is raging. It feels overwhelming, too big to handle. But then right there in the middle of it all, you see Jesus. He's standing with you, holding out His hand. He looks at you with eyes full of love and says, "Do not fear. I'm with you." Feel His presence. Let His peace wash over you. Let go of the weight you've been carrying. Surrender the fear, the doubts, the need for control, and trust that God is holding you. Take the next step today. I challenge you to do 3 things. 1. Speak truth over your heart. Declare God's promises even when your feelings tell you otherwise. 2. Pour out your heart to God. Be real, be honest, and surrender your burdens to Him. 3. Trust that He is working even when you don't see it. Trust that God is holding you. If this message spoke to you, comment below. God, I trust you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Someone you know needs this encouragement today. You are not alone. God is your rock. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep walking forward in faith.